It has been 3 weeks since I last posted a long form video. Uh, There has been so much that has happened in the past 3 weeks that it will just blow your mind. So, first and foremost, my husband, he got a new job. He is now Repo Roy. He was Mechanic Mario, but I will now be calling him Repo Roy from now on. With this new job, it is requiring him to drive all over the US from South Carolina all the way to California, which is absolutely crazy. But that also means that he is no longer home during the week. And there are going to be some weeks that he probably won't come home on the weekends either. And that has been a really big adjustment, not only for me, but my kids as well. They are having a lot of behavioral issues that we've had to really address over the last couple of weeks. And I think it is because of him leaving. It's a really big change, but it's nothing we haven't done before. He used to work about an hour and a half away running a mechanic shop, and he would stay there all week long and basically come home for literally 18 hours, and then he would leave to go back up there. And a lot of times he didn't come home for a month. So it's something we have done before. I know I can do it, but it definitely has been a really big adjustment because the kids are now older. They do know what's going on now. Back then it was almost a year and a half ago that he did this or did that job, and the kids would just be like, "Where's dad?" And I would just tell him or tell them that dad's at work. And of course the twins at that time were only just turning 2, and so they didn't really understand. I mean, they knew dad wasn't home, but they didn't really fully, I guess, grasp the concept of, wow, dad's not coming home, sort of deal. But now they're 3. They actually turned 3 today. Today is the twins birthday, and they are understanding the concept of dad not coming home at night anymore. And they're sort of like, where's dad? Seth, one of the twins, the other night was literally screaming for him. And of course, I called him because we have electronics, why not use them? So we FaceTime dad, and he was pretty okay after that. He got to tell daddy night night and things like that. But of course, the older two are really being affected by it because dad spends a lot of time with them, taking them out shopping and doing fun things with them out in the garage, working on cars together, just fun things. And now they're not getting that time anymore. And I feel like that is what is stemming the misbehavior. There is a lot of fighting and crying and lying and having lots of bathroom accidents, mostly the oldest one, Gene. But we're working on that. He tells me, we talk about his feelings, and he tells me, well, I miss daddy. And of course, I explain to him that doing things that are going to, especially make me upset, and doing these sort of things isn't going to make daddy come home. He's at work, he's working, he's states away. He can't just turn around and come home if you're misbehaving. And so it's gotten a lot better, but it's a struggle. And we really got off our routine, which is also not helping, especially for my autistic son. He is die hard on your routine, or he is just overstimulated, I guess would be the word for it. But we were significantly off our routine, so I really needed to work hard, get us back on our routine. I was off my cleaning schedule. The house has gotten really, really bad. Not really, really bad, but it was pretty bad. Laundry was piled up, and everything else. Diapers were piling up, and I felt like I was drowning. I really did. I felt like I was drowning. and I got myself back together. I picked myself up and I got myself back together. I got my kids back on track, got my kids together. We started school again because we did take almost a week and a half off of school just because I did not have the mental capability or the patience to sit down with them and do their schoolwork. I'm still a little short tempered, I guess, just because I'm overwhelmed and frustrated. But I'm also working on that. I tell myself I need to calm down because this is not good for them. It's not good for me. It takes a lot of energy to be angry. Honestly, it takes a lot of your energy. I also haven't been really sleeping at night because the littlest one, Harley, he's teething. I'm pretty sure he is getting molars. And well, it is taking a toll on both of us. Neither of us are sleeping. So he's cranky, I'm cranky. We're just cranky people over over here for the time being. Um, but when I recorded this video, it was my mother's birthday. Her birthday was February 12th. And of course, I told her that I would make her a cake. Now, what of course you don't see is how stressed out I am about making this cake, because not only was I making cake, I was also baking 5 loaves of sourdough bread, trying to prep other loaves of sourdough bread while doing something else. I don't really remember what the heck I was doing, but I remember there was a lot going on. I will tell you, as a mom of 5, definitely don't plan too much in one day because you will lose your crap. I lost it a lot this day. But nonetheless, it's my first time making cake, and it turned out okay. It was my mom's favorite cake. She said I did a good job, but I thought the cake was dry. What do you any bakers what do you guys do to make sure your cake doesn't turn out dry? Because I mean, every time I make a cake, even a box cake, I can't get the cake to actually be moist. It always turns out dry. Maybe I'm baking it too long. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's my dilemma. If you could answer that in the questions, because I really would like to perfect cake. I feel like I've got bread down. I'd really like to start learning how to make pastries and things like that. I have found a love for baking. And honestly, with Repo Roy gone, I have been doing a lot of it. Like the other day, I got up at 4:30 and was a.m. 4:30 a.m. 4:30 in the morning, and I was baking already. I think baking is my outlet right now. Like I am always in the kitchen right now. The other thing that has made these weeks absolutely crazy is we have a friend that is just staying with us for the time being, and he is got some medical issues going on with his eyes, which is causing him to lose his vision. He's slowly getting it back, but it's still crazy. So I've been helping him and getting him to his appointments and everything else, and that has taken up definitely a lot of time, especially with 5 kids. Imagine taking 5 kids to an appointment. Most of the time, I get somebody to watch them, but not all the time. I can't rely on everybody all the time because I don't want to overburden, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Overburden my village that I have going on. But I will say my brother has definitely stepped up and has really started to help me out. He comes over in the afternoon and reads the kid a nighttime story, which they're reading the magic book, the magic treehouse books, which is absolutely amazing. I remember reading these as a kid, and they're full of very factual information while still um, motivating their imagination or stimulating their imagination. And that's really exciting. It's something for Jean and Vivian to look forward to. And it has helped a lot because it also helps them get their chores done and making sure their room is clean, and showering, making sure they shower, all while I'm out in the kitchen trying to clean up kitchen and get the other little people to bed. And it's been a really big help. I am so thankful for him. I don't know how I did it without him, honestly. And it's been a really big weight lifted off my shoulders with all of his help. We also discussed that he is going to be helping pay for the kids to get into extracurricular activities, which is, I was like, wow, he's the one that suggested it. And I was like, are you sure? Because this stuff, it tends to be expensive. And he's like, no, no, I want to do this. This is something I want to do. So in the spring, Vivian will be starting gymnastics, and that I think lasts for a month. And then once her gymnastics are up, Jean will be in flag football in the summer. And then they will both be doing soccer in the fall. And I tell you what, I think this is going to be a really great thing for both of the older ones. They'll be able to make some friends, get some separation from each other, because those two are always up each other's butt. They share a room, and so I feel like it's really nice that they're going to have something that is only just for them, and at the same time coming together with soccer and doing that together and working on teamwork and everything else. Vivian will be able to make some girlfriends, and of course, maybe some guy friends. I know guys can do gymnastics too. And Gene will be able to get his rough and tumble side out during football. Unfortunately, it is flag football, which is no contact, which I don't truly understand. It's football. Let the boys tackle each other. Come on now, that's interesting. um, it's always WWE over at my house, so like all boys, including Vivian, are always tackling each other and roughhousing and everything else, and it's usually Gene that instigates it. So my brother was like, this would be perfect for him. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited about watching them play their sports and Vivian doing her gymnastics. And it's going to get us out of the house too. And it's, I'm excited. I'm excited about all the things coming up. We got summer coming up, and we don't really have anything planned quite yet. I know we're going to go out to my grandmother's, of course, once the weather starts warming up, because she wants to give me some baking lessons, which I mean, I feel like I know basics of baking, but she's been baking a long time. She's in her 70s, I think. And it would be amazing to be able to learn from her and learn old tricks and ways and things that, people aren't really teaching anymore. And so I'm really excited about that. And while we're in the kitchen doing that, my gramps will be outside, maybe teaching Jean how to do some wood and doing the garden and everything else. And that's definitely something I am looking forward to and super excited about. I was also even looking into putting the twins maybe into a cute little summer camp, but those are, I thought the sports were expensive. The summer camps through the YMCA is absolutely insane. It is $225 plus a $50 deposit and some other fee. And I'm like, whoa, that would be $600 just to put them in camp for a month, which I guess it's the regular price. I don't know, this is my first time looking into camps, but at the same time I don't know how Sam would handle it. He is my autistic kid. I honestly, I do not know how he'd handle it. And it also sort of scares me, just because I have a hard time trusting people with my kids, and I feel like nowadays that's a very valid fear, trusting other people with your kids. So I was thinking about it, but I don't think I would be able to do it, because they can't really, I mean, they can talk, they can communicate, but I would be more comfortable putting Jean and Vivian into a summer camp. And because if something goes wrong, they can tell me about it. But the twins, they can't really be like, hey mom, this is what happened today, somebody did this or somebody did that to me and blah blah blah. Like, the twins can't really do that, but Jean and Vivian could. So um, I was looking into summer camps, but I don't think we're going to do it. It's a lot of it looks like a lot of fun, but it's a lot of money and something we don't have the funds for right now. But maybe when they get older, I feel like I would be a lot more comfortable with it. I would definitely be getting like Jean and Vivian one of those watches that have service. That way they could, call me if something happens, or, I would have contact with them, sort of deal. But yeah, summer camp is just, I don't know. It's not something that is going to definitely happen right now. But like I said, I'm excited about the sports. But now that summer is right around the corner, I have started planting my garden. I think once again, I did not fully think this through. I only have so much space for my garden, and I have planted or started a lot of different things. I've started corn, butternut squash, strawberries, to two kinds of tomatoes. There's like a dark black tomato or something like that, dark red tomato, and then of course the regular like sandwich tomatoes. I've got bell peppers and onions and green onions and carrots. And I go outside and look at the space I have, and I'm like, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more space. So we need to get two more little garden beds because they are on the side of the house where everybody can see it from the road. So I don't want it to look tacky. But we also discussed about putting it in the backyard along the fence. But the thing is I don't think the kids would stay out of it. They would be in it messing with all of the plants and probably pulling the plants out, especially Harley, the youngest one. He likes pulling things out of the ground. He picks the grass. Like he'll just be on the floor or on the ground picking the grass out of the ground. I'm like, can you leave the grass alone? The kid is so weird. But so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to plant all these plants that I have now started. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I need to sit down and plan out everything because I also learned that you can't plant certain things next to each other because it takes the nutrients and they fight or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, I didn't know that. So this is my second year of gardening this year. So I'm super excited to see how much I have grown, how much I have learned from last year, my first year doing it. And I'm excited to see how much I can get from the garden this year. The goal is to not have to go to the store for any fruits, any vegetables, and things like that. But of course, this is definitely a learning curve because before this, I would kill cactuses. I had cactus plants, and they would always die. I don't know how, but they did. So the fact that I grew stuff last year was amazing. So my green thumb or my brown thumb is turning green, and I'm super excited about it. I did just go out to the garden to put some things in my compost, which I also started at the beginning of the winter time. My broccoli is coming in. Like what? It snowed about a month ago now, and I thought that snow was going to kill the broccoli plant. No, it did not, and now there's broccoli growing on it. Like what? It's not very. It's not very like broccoli. It's a very small broccoli. It looks like a little tiny tree, but it's growing, and I'm super excited about that because I thought for sure that broccoli plant was going to die during the snow that we got. It has been a oddly cold winter, which I'm not really complaining about. I was excited about the winter weather, but I am honestly super excited about spring now because I'm over the cold. I'm ready to be able to get back outside with the kiddos and do things because I mean it's been so cold that we haven't been able to really do anything. And usually here in the south, the winter time is when we do the most stuff because it's not too hot. But now it has been too cold. That's like I need to find a medium. But I'm excited about springtime, and we actually started a gardening unit for homeschooling. So the kids are really excited to get our plants growing and everything else. I think that's basically the update of what has happened the last. 3 weeks. Oh, we got sick again. So we're finally getting over being mucusy and sick. It's the weather. I feel like it's the weather that has definitely done this because it was 80 degrees one week and then it dropped back down into the 30s. And I really feel like that is what made us all mucusy and sick. I thought spring was starting and it was like, psych, just kidding. We're dropping the temperature back down. But oh, the other thing that has happened is I had to take Vivian to get tubes back in her ears because she has had three back to back ear infections. Like they were within a week of each other. So she had her adenoids removed and she got tubes back in her ears, which she's doing okay. The surgery went well. She hasn't really been, hurting or anything like that. She's a very resilient kiddo. I felt like if she like broke her arm, she wouldn't even say anything. She would just be like, "Oh, my arm's fine." Like that that's just how she is. I feel like having four brothers has made her super 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 tough. But that's basically the update of the week. I'm really hoping to get back into the swing of recording and editing and things like that. Definitely not having CapCut took a really big toll on that and things like that. But CapCut is now back, which is fantastic. I don't have to find something else to edit my things on, at least for now, anyways. There's still a likely chance that TikTok and CapCut both will be banned April 5th, which is not very far away, guys. It's really not. So until then, I will be able to use CapCut, which I am comfortable with. I want to thank you guys for being patient with me and hanging in there. My life has definitely just been all sorts of chaos and upside down, and I have felt like I haven't had a lot of time to do the things that I want to do because I've been really focusing on my kids and their well-being and their needs and making sure that they have what they need and everything else, and I've sort of have fallen to the wayside. It almost feels like I've still been doing things for myself like baking and things that I do enjoy, but my videos and editing and things that I really enjoy have, just fallen to the side. But I'm hoping that we are able to stick to our schedule and things will stay calm for a little while, and I'll be able to get back on my schedule of posting on Mondays every week and uploading shorts and things like that. So just keep an eye out. And if I don't post, I promise you more than likely I'm okay. I'm having a hard time, especially with Repo Roy not being here. You don't realize how much somebody helps even when they work all day long and they're home for dinner and that's about it. You don't realize how much they do in the short time that they are home between dinner and bedtime. And it's really tough because I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I am with my children doing things for my children all day long every day. And when mechanic Mario got home, back when he was working at the mechanic shop, he would come home and he would help, whether it was just simply showering the kids or like entertaining them while I got something I needed to get done and things like that. You don't realize how much that really helped until it's no longer there. And so it's been tough, but like I said, we're adjusting. We're doing a great job. Look at this cake, guys. Can you believe that I've never made a cake before? Because it definitely looks like I've never. Well, I mean, I have made a cake, just not something as fancy as this. I think it's like a almond torte cake is what it was called. Um, but I don't know. It came out pretty good. I think I needed to put more layers of whipping cream or more, yeah, more whipping cream between the layers. But other than that, other than it being dry, it definitely was pretty dry. Other than it being dry, I think it came out pretty good, especially for the first time being made by me. My grandmother makes it a lot better, of course, because it is her recipe. So she's been making it a heck of a lot longer than I have. No, when I was baking this cake, um, it smelled like my granny's house. My granny is 102 years old, and she she would make she used to bake a lot. She was always in the kitchen, always baking, and her house always smelled so good. And I guess this smell of the cake unlocked a core memory. And I was like, wow, it smells like my granny's house in here. How awesome. Now I just want to bake the cake so I can smell my granny's house again. And this is how the cake turned out. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to me blab about nothing and everything at the same time. And hopefully, I will be posting next week. Bye, guys.